Tiga.
Fazrin, do you know how to teach English to children who speak different language at home?
Of course I know, Safira. There are many fun and effective ways to teach English to young children who, even if they don't speak English at home. So now let's explore some strategies for teaching English in bilingual and multilingual in early childhood education.
Okay, so there are three strategies that we will present. The first one is that one, and the lastly is
Assalamualaikum and hi. So today I would like to share first strategy for teaching English in bilingual or multilingual early childhood education setting, which is called learning through play. So what is learning through play? Learning through play refers to a child's natural way of exploring, experimenting, and making sense of the world around them through activity they find enjoyable and engaging. In simple words, learning through play means children learn by doing fun activities like playing games, pretending, building things, drawing, or acting out role. These activities help children think, talk, imagine, and understand new things in a way that feels fun and not stressful. While they are playing, they are actually learning new words, solving problems, working with friends, and using their creativity. So, learning through play is not just play, it is a powerful and natural way for children to learn, especially when learning new language like English. Okay, next, I would like to share one of the example of activity in learning through play, which is called role play. What is role play? Role play is when children pretend to be someone else, like a shopkeeper, a doctor, a teacher, or even a customer, to practice speaking and learning in a fun and meaningful way. In this activity, children use their imagination and language skill to communicate, solve problems, and understand real life situation. Example of role activity is called mini market. In this activity, one child becomes the seller and another becomes the buyer. They act like they are buying and selling fruits or snacks. For example, a child may say in Malay, "Saya nak pisang." Then the teacher support by saying, you can say, "I want bananas." So the teacher help the children by repeating sentence in both English and Malay and writing the words on the board, showing picture cut of the item and giving simple sentence example like how much, here you go, thank you. So, in this activity, children will use both language to understand and build confidence before using full English sentence. Okay, next, I would like to explain how Vygotsky social culture theory is connected to the role-play mini-market activity. According to Vygotsky, children learn best through social interaction, especially when they talk and play with others. In the mini market role play activity, one child becomes the seller and another becomes the buyer. And they use simple sentence like I want bananas, how much? And sometimes they also start in Malay. For example, saya nak pisang, and the teacher helps by saying, you can say, I want bananas. This connect to the first concept in Vygotsky theory, which is learning through talking and playing with others. So children learn English naturally by speaking and interacting with their friends during play. Next, the zone of proximal development or ZPD means that children can do more when they get a little help from a teacher. In this activity, the teacher guides the children step by step, helping them say sentence in English. This is also related to scaffolding, where the teachers give support such as repeating the child sentence in English, writing words in both English and Malay, showing picture card, and give simple sentence example like "here we go" or "thank you." So through this process, children slowly build understanding and confidence to speak English on their own. So in conclusion, this role-play activities support Vygotsky theory by encouraging children to learn through social play, get help within the ZPD, and receive scaffolding from the teacher to use English in a natural and fun way. Okay, now I would like to show you a video example of a role play in a classroom. In this video, we can see one child acting as a waiter and two children acting as customer in pretend restaurant. The children take turns to speak and follow a simple conversation. Before they start the role play, the teacher wrote a simple script on the whiteboard. The script includes short and useful sentences like, "What would you like? Some lemonade, please. No, thanks." So the video shows a great example of using learning through play as a strategy for teaching English in a bilingual or multilingual classroom. Since young children are still developing both their first language and English, role play helps them learn English in a meaningful and fun way. They don't just memorize words, but they also use them in real life situations.
So what would you like? I like some pizza. I want What would you like to drink? Some lemonade, please. Some water for me. Would you like some dessert? No thanks.
Okay, lastly, I would like to explain why this activity is meaningful and good for children. The first one is because it promotes inclusivity. This means that everyone can join the activity even if they are not confident in speaking English yet. Each children is given a simple role like being a seller or a buyer, and they are allowed to speak based on their own language ability. This makes them feel included, supported, and not left out. When children feel accepted, they become more confident to participate. The second reason is because this activity respects home language. Sometimes children may not know how to say something in English, so they start with their first language like Malay. For example, they might say, "Saya nak pisang." The teacher don't stop them. Instead, the teacher helps by saying, you can say, "I want bananas." This shows that their mother tongue is respected and they feel safe to use both language. It also helps them learn new English words while still feeling proud of their own language. And the third reason is because this activity helps children build their identity. When they act and take on different roles, they get a chance to express themselves, use their imagination, and show what they know. This makes them feel confident, capable, and proud of who they are. It also makes learning English more fun and meaningful because they feel like their ideas and action matters. In conclusion, this role-play activity is not only educational but also build confidence, respect, and inclusion for every child in the classroom.
Okay, now let's move to the next strategies. Hi, I'm Iza, and today I will be explaining the second strategy in our learning approach, which is learning through song and movement. Okay, this strategy combines elements of music and physical movement to strengthen understanding and enhance memory retention of the topics being taught. Okay, now I will tell you about what is learning through song and movement. What is it? Okay, if you want to know, you can hear this. First, learning through song and movement is a teaching strategy that combines music, rhythm, singing, and physical movement to enhance children's learning and development. Okay, this multisensory approach not only makes learning more engaging and enjoyable, but it also supports cognitive, physical, and emotional growth. In bilingual and multilingual environments, this kind of approach becomes even more powerful as it bridges language, promotes language acquisition, and nurtures cultural identity. Okay, it also allows children to explore and express themselves freely while making meaningful connection across different language and cultures. Okay, now let me begin by explaining why this strategy matters and how it reflects three core values that support children's holistic development, which is have inclusivity, respect for home language, and support for identity development. Okay, let me tell you why this strategy matters. First, why is this strategy so effective? Okay, let me tell you. Children naturally learn best when they are active, involved, rather than just sitting and listening. Singing and moving allow them to be engaged both mentally and physically, instead of memorizing words in isolation. They experience the language through song, rhythm, repetition, and action, which makes it easier for them to understand and remember. Okay, songs also offer natural repetition of vocabulary and sentence structures. For example, when a child sings the praise, clap your hand many times, they are actually practicing commands, pronouns, and action words without even realizing it. Movement that go along with the lyrics, such as clapping, stomping, or jumping, this can help children to connect language with meaning. This is known as kinesthetic learning, where the children learn through physical activity. Okay, most importantly, singing creates a low-pressure environment. In a song, children are not being tested or judged. They are simply enjoying themselves. This allows them to use the new language freely and joyfully, which is essential for second language acquisition. Yes. Okay, let's talk about inclusivity. Okay, when we say a strategy is inclusive, it means that it gives every child a chance to participate, regardless of their language level or personality. Songs and movement are naturally inclusive because they are simple, repetitive, and easy to follow. Okay, the second one is activity involve all children, including shy learners or those still learning English, which is even if a child is shy or still learning English, they can still participate through action like clapping, stopping, or smiling along with their friends. This can help them feel involved and successful, even if they are not yet confident speakers. Okay. Physical actions allow participation without needing to speak right away. Okay. Group singing also creates a shared experience, which builds a sense of community and belonging. No child is left out. Everyone moves together, sings together, and learns together. And that is the true meaning of inclusive education. For my example, a child who does not speak much English can still follow the actions such as clap your hand, and over time they start repeating the praise along with their friends. Okay. The value 2 is respect for home language. The second value this strategy promotes is respect for home language. Children who diverse language background, and it's important for them to feel that their first language is appreciated, not ignored. These strategies allows teachers to connect English learning to what children already know in their home language. For example, after saying a line in English like, if you happy and you know it, the teachers can explain the meaning in the child's home language to ensure full understanding and to make learning more meaningful. Okay. Some teachers may even use bilingual version of songs, especially for beginners. This helps to bridge the gap between the known home language and the new English, making the learning process more accessible and less intimidating. For example, after a verse, the teacher might pause and ask, what does "if you are happy" mean in your language? Or explain, when we are happy, we smile or clap, just like in the song. Okay, lastly, the last value is support for identity development. Okay. Songs can give children the opportunity to express themselves in a safe and creative way. Through singing, dancing, and movement, children begin to feel confident, capable, and proud of who they are. In a group activity like singing, children are seen, heard, and celebrated. This fosters a sense of belonging and helps them develop positive self-esteem. When children are allowed to be active contributors in the classroom through their voice and action, they learn that they matter. In fact, some teachers even encourage children to create their own version of familiar songs. This not only deepens their understanding of language, but also empowers them to share their ideas and take ownership of their learning. For example, a teacher may ask, how are you feeling today? Can you make your own line for the song? A child may sing, if you're sleepy and you know it, rub your eyes. That's it. To conclude, the strategy of learning through songs and movement is a powerful tool for language learning in a preschool. But more than that, it is a strategy that touch the heart of what early education should be, which is joyful, inclusive, respectful, and identity affirming. Okay, now let's move to the theory, which is Vygotsky's social development theory. So this learn through songs and movement is using a Vygotsky theories. Okay. This theory is particularly relevant to preschool language development, especially when teaching English as a second language to young learners. There are three major concepts for Vygotsky's theory that strongly support this strategy, which is having a zone of proximal development (ZPD). Second one is scaffolding, and the third one is language as a social tool. Okay, ZPD. Let's begin with the zone of proximal development, or ZPD. Vygotsky defines this as the difference between what a child can do independently and what they can do with help from a more capable adult or peer. In the context of learning through song and movement, this theory applies beautifully. For example, when we introduce a song like "If you're happy and you know it, clap your hand." Okay, some children may not understand all the words or instruction at first. However, with guidance from the teacher through repeat singing and hand gesture and demonstration of movement, children will begin to understand the meaning and join it. These type of activities fall within the child's ZPD because they may not be able to perform the song alone, but they can do it with structured support. Over time, as they gain of confidence and language exposure, they begin to sing and move more independently. This can prove that effective language learning happens when we provide meaningful challenge, not tasks that are too easy, and we support children just enough to help them succeed. Second one, scaffolding. Scaffolding means giving temporary help of building blocks to support the child's learning. In the song and movement strategy, teachers act as guides who carefully adjust their level of support based on the child's ability. This can be done in several ways. First, the teacher models the action, for example, clapping hands or stomping feet. The second one, the teacher may also sing slowly and clearly so children can understand the rhythm and pronunciation. And the third one is visual aids such as picture or flashcard or gesture are used to support word meaning and comprehension. As children begin to learn the words and action, the teacher gradually reduces the support. For instance, stepping back during repetition and allowing children to lead the song. This gradual release of responsibility is what makes scaffolding so powerful. It builds the child's confidence, encourages active participation, and allows them to feel a sense of ownership over their learning. And the third one, lastly, is language as a social tool. In song-based learning, this concept is clearly demonstrated. Children sing together in a group, take turns, listen to each other, and sometimes even correct each other. These interactions are not only fun, but they can make their educational. Singing in a group provides a safe and relaxed environment for using language. Unlike formal speaking tasks, singing removes pressure. Children feel free to repeat words even if they don't fully understand them yet. And because songs are naturally repetitive, children are constantly exposed to language patterns, sentence structures, and intonation, all within a fun and engaging format. Moreover, the physical movement attached to song helps children remember meaning. This is called kinesthetic learning. For instance, clapping hands when hearing clap strengthens the connection within word and action, making learning more memorable to children. To conclude, the learning through song and movement strategy is far more than just entertainment. It is a powerful teaching tool, fully supported by various skills, social development theory. Okay, now let's see a classroom example.
Walking, 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 walking. Up, 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 up. Running, 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 running. Now let's stop. Now let's stop. Singing, 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 singing. Clap, 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 clap. Dancing, 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 dancing. Now let's stop. Now let's stop. Cooking, 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 cooking. Yum, 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 yum. Swimming, 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 swimming. Now let's stop. Now let's stop. Drawing, 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 drawing. Up and down, up and down. Penny, 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 penny. Say goodbye, say goodbye. Penny, penny.
Okay, now I will explain based on the video that have you seen. Okay, first of all, song and movement serve as powerful visual and kinesthetic teaching tools. Songs and action help children understand vocabulary more easily. For example, when the teacher sings a song about my hobby and mention words like drawing, cooking, or running, they include gesture or body movement that represent each activity. The children then imitate this movement while repeating the words. Like this allows them to connect the vocabulary to a concrete action, which is especially helpful for young children learning a second language as they rely heavily on verbal cues for understanding. Secondly, the strategy is very effective in building memory and vocabulary retention. Song and activities support memory of pronunciation and meaning. Songs with rhythm and repetition make it easy for children to memorize new words. In the video I refer to, the teacher repeat the song with the theme "My Hobby," which gave the children multiple chance to hear and say the words with confidence. This repeat exposure helps children build fluency naturally without having to rely on traditional memorization techniques, which are often boring and ineffective for young learners. Okay. Lastly is support bilingual and multilingual language development. Children growing up in multilingual environment may struggle to understand sentence structure or switch between language, but with activity like song and gesture, they can pick up pronunciation, intonation, and meaning in context. It's making it easier for them to switch between language with less stress and confusion. Lastly, I truly believe that this strategy should be actively used in early childhood classroom, as it builds a strong foundation for language learning while giving children a positive and joyful learning experience.
Alright, now it's my turn. I'm Safira. Today I'm going to explain a very fun and meaningful strategy that we can use in early childhood classrooms, especially for bilingual or multilingual children. It's called learning through storytelling with pictures. So what does that mean? Basically, this strategy uses stories like picture books or simple short tales together with pictures to help children learn a new language. Instead of just listening to words, children can also see what's happening in the story through visuals. This makes the language easier to understand, even if English is not their first language. Let's imagine I'm reading a story about animals. For example, brown bear, what do you see? While I'm reading, I show the children a big colorful picture of a bird, a bear, a cat, and as I say the sentence, I see a red bird. The children can match the words to the picture. Even if they don't understand every word, they can still follow the story because the image guides them. It's like giving their brain a map. This strategy is more than just reading a storybook. It's about creating a space where every child feels seen, heard, and valued. Let me explain why this approach is so powerful. First, inclusivity. Storytelling with picture is a universal language. Even if a child doesn't fully understand the words, they can still follow the story by looking at the picture, feeling the emotions, and participating through gesture and facial expressions. It makes learning accessible for all children, including those with limited English proficiency, different learning styles, or special needs. Why it matters? It breaks language barriers and it allows every child to participate. Also, it helps build a classroom where everyone belongs. Second, respect for home language. When we include a child's first language in storytelling, either side by side with English or through code switching, we are sending a powerful message. Your language is important, your culture matters here. This validates children's identity and encourage family to be partners in learning. Why it matters? First, it respects linguistic diversity and it builds strong homeschool connections and it makes language learning more meaningful and successful. Third, support for identity development. Children see themselves in the story we share, their culture, their language, their way of life, and that matters deeply. When stories reflect who they are, it helps build confidence, self-worth, and a strong sense of identity. As educators, we are not just teaching English, we are affirming that who they are is worth celebrating. Why it matters? It boosts self-esteem and pride. And it promotes emotional and social growth. Also, it helps children feel safe, loved, and seen. In summary, learning through storytelling with picture is not just a teaching tool. It is a declaration of inclusion, a celebration of identity, and a bridge between languages. It brings language to life while honoring the many lives and story each child carries with them. Now, to support this strategy with evidence, let me share one inspiring research study that shows just how powerful storytelling with pictures can be in a real classroom setting. In 2024, a study was conducted in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, involving bilingual kindergarten children. The researchers explore how storytelling using picture books, role-playing, and interactive discussions impact the children's development, not just in language, but in their hearts and social skill too. And guess what they found? The children didn't just learn new words, they become more empathetic. They listen to each other, share their feelings, and began to understand how others felt through the story they heard and act out. The researchers observed clear growth in the children's emotional intelligence, cooperation, and classroom participation. Storytelling gave them a safe, imaginative space for exploring real-life emotions like joy, sadness, kindness, and fairness, all in a language-rich environment that respect their bilingual identities. What this tell us? First, storytelling is not just academic, it's human. It connects language learning with emotional learning, and when done with pictures, movement and meaningful interactions, it becomes even more engaging and effective. So this study really confirmed what we believe, that learning through storytelling with picture is a holistic strategy. It nurtures not only the mind but also the heart.
Macam mana Hat? Macam mana Hat? Panas. Okay.
We will speak.
Swim. Okay, kejap. Okay. Listen. Aish. Umaira, Aish. Listen here. I wear my sun hat. Where is my sun hat? Here my sun hat. This is what? Hat. Sun hat. Okay. It's too hot in summer. What is this? Sun. Kalau panas kena buat apa? Pakai
Topi.
We wear a sun hat.
Ada topi.
Ada topi. Wow. Okay. I have a fan. What is fan? Here. Teacher ada fan. Teacher ada kipas. Tengok ni. Teacher buka, dia jadi besar. Lepas tu teacher boleh buat macam ni. Okay, sit down first. Kalau nak sit down first.
I know sudah.
Okay, kejap. Duduk dulu. Belajar dulu dengan teacher. Ya. Okay. Nak. Okay. Tengok ni. Okay. Duduk. Sit down. Calm down, everybody. Calm down. This is big. This is short. This is tall. This is This is big. This is small. This is short. Tall. This is short. This is fast. This is slow. I can do. Yes, I can. Okay. Listen here. I have a fan. Where is my fan? Yeah. Kalau panas kita pakai kipas.
Ada ekor.
Mana aircon? Mana? Buka aircon lah. Kipas dia tengok ni. Sama tak? Sama. Ada yang pegang dulu. Duduk dulu. Sit down. Panas. Farel. Duduk. Okay. Okay. Look here. I have electric fan. Kipas. Kalau dalam bahasa Melayu, kipas. Kalau dalam bahasa Inggeris, I have electric fan. Ya. Tengok ni. Kipas dia buka. Sejuknya. Tengok semua rasa. Sejuk kan? Kalau panas kita kena pakai kipas. Okay, good job.
And speaking of storytelling in action, let's reflect on the video we just watched. In the short but meaningful clip, we saw something deeply powerful. A teacher using the children's mother tongue alongside storytelling with pictures and real objects to help the children understand the story and engage with the language. Now, this is not just a good teaching. This is culturally responsive, inclusive, identity affirming pedagogy. By using the children's home language during storytelling, the teacher is doing three things all at once. First, she's making meaning accessible. Not every child in the classroom may be fluent in English, and that's okay. When the teacher says the words in mother tongue first and then in English, she's providing a natural and loving scaffold. The children understand what's happening, they can follow along, and they are not left out. Second, she's activating their prior knowledge. Hearing the words in their own language help children connect what they already know to what they are learning. This activates brain connections and making learning more effective and more memorable. It also echoes Creation's comprehensible input theory. When input is understandable, learning flows naturally. And let's not forget a real object like fruit, animal toys, or classroom items bring language to life. When a child holds a banana and hears pisang, this is a banana, they are not just learning a word, they are building a connection between sound, object, meaning, and emotions. Third, she's affirming identity and belonging. Using the mother tongue in front of the whole class sends a powerful message. Your language belongs here. Your story matters. For many children, this is the first time they have seen their home language used as a tool for learning, not something to hide or ignore. It boosts their confidence, strengthens their sense of identity, and makes them feel truly seen. And once again, this reflects what we saw in the 2024 Yogyakarta study, that when storytelling is made interactive, visual, and culturally relevant, it doesn't just teach language, it teaches empathy, it builds social skill, it nurtures the heart and the mind. So what we take from this storytelling, when combined with pictures, real object, and the mother tongue, becomes more than a lesson. It's become a bridge, a safe space, a celebration of language, identity, and joyful learning. And in a bilingual or multilingual classroom, that is the kind of magic we should be aiming for every day. In conclusion, these three strategies, play, songs, and storytelling, support language learning in a fun, inclusive, and meaningful ways. They respect children's home language, build confidence, and help develop strong identities. With the help of technology, learning can continue both in and out of the classroom.